Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to tackle a problem that, well, it keeps so many leaders up at night. It's this. How do you build a marketing team that drives real growth, not just, noise? We're going to break down the exact blueprint for turning that marketing chaos into a truly high-performing engine. So let me ask you something. Does this feel familiar? You've hired a content writer, you've got a paid ad specialist, maybe you even brought on an SEO freelancer, but everything still feels completely disconnected. Your team is busy, for sure, but are they actually moving the needle? And this quote just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? Hiring individual people is one thing, but building a real team, that is a totally different challenge. It's not about headcount. It's about creating a single, cohesive, aligned unit. The big question is, how in the world do you actually do that? Okay, so first things first, let's really understand the problem. A lot of startups find themselves stuck in what you could call the marketing chaos trap. And the symptoms are probably going to sound pretty familiar. Talent gets hired reactively, which leads to a ton of execution, but with no real structure. The team feels completely overwhelmed because while they're all working like crazy, nobody is 100% sure what winning even looks like. So in short, all that effort just doesn't equal impact. So how do you get out of this trap? Well, the answer isn't just throwing more people or a bigger budget at it. It's about getting a specific kind of leadership. And that brings us to the key player who can fix all this, the team enabler. And that is the fractional CMO. Now, I want you to focus on a really important word in this definition: embedded. See, this isn't some temporary boss who just dictates things from afar. A fractional CMO is a part-time leader who works from within the company to build systems, align the team, and this is the most important part, coach your existing talent. They're there to enable the team, not just direct. And this slide really shows the critical difference in a nutshell. A traditional consultant, they might give you some advice from the outside, maybe hand you a fancy strategy deck, but a fractional CMO, they roll up their sleeves. They actually lead from the inside. They build the systems, and they actively coach the team to make it all work. The really crucial point here is that they're building long-term capability. This leader isn't just delegating tasks. They're mentoring your people. They're not just putting out fires. They're building fireproof systems that keep working long after their contract is up. And so critically, they make sure marketing is tied into sales and product so everyone is pulling in the same direction toward the same business goals. Okay, so we get the who, but what about the how? Let's dig into the specifics of the method they use to build a real growth engine and move this from theory into actual practice. Now this is the fundamental mindset shift. You have to stop thinking about a fancy org chart with a bunch of titles. Instead, think about a coordinated system where every single part is engineered to hit specific business goals. The goals, they always come first. Right, here's the 4-step playbook for turning that chaos into clarity. First, you implement a rhythm, things like weekly stand-ups and sprint planning. Second, you standardize all your campaign planning with templates so the goals and messaging are crystal clear every time. Third, you build repeatable workflows for everything from research all the way to publishing. And finally, you automate all that repeatable stuff like dashboards and reporting so performance is always visible to everybody. It's all about rhythm, standards, workflows, and visibility. Now, these processes, they need a really strong team structure to actually work. It all starts by mapping goals directly to people, because clear ownership is the only way you avoid that classic, "Oh, I thought you were doing that" problem. It's also about being smart with who you have in-house versus what you outsource, and then baking those team rituals in from day one, so this structure just becomes the team's natural way of working. So what happens when you combine these clear processes with a strong structure? Well, you get something pretty powerful. You get systems that drive real, measurable performance. This table basically puts it all together. It's the blueprint. It shows you how those core pillars, roles, rituals, metrics, and systems aren't just abstract ideas. You can see exactly what they look like in the real world, and more importantly, why they matter. This is how you connect all those individual actions to scalable, consistent results. Okay, so this whole framework sounds great in theory, but what about in practice? Let's take a look at how these systems create tangible, real-world impact. So take this B2B SaaS company, for example. They had a content rater, an SEO freelancer, and a paid ads person, all just working in their own little silos. The fractional CMO came in, implemented a shared roadmap, and a simple weekly sync. And the result? A 31% jump in lead quality in just 2 months. That right there is the power of alignment. Or how about this edtech company? They were really struggling to manage their relationship with their ad agency. By just standardizing the briefing and review process, they streamlined all that communication and collaboration. And the result? Campaigns launched faster, and their customer acquisition costs dropped by 18%. And this brings us to the ultimate goal, right? The immediate results are fantastic, but the true value is building a self-sufficient team that just knows how to win, long after that leader's work is done. You're not just managing a team, you're building systems that teach the team how to manage themselves. So, what's the big takeaway here? If you remember just one thing from all of this, let it be this: leadership is the unlock. You know, great teams aren't the ones who are the busiest. They're the ones who are the most aligned. Just running more campaigns isn't going to fix unclear priorities. This is the shift from just chaotic activity to focused, effective execution. And that shift, it comes from leadership. Which leaves us with one final and pretty important question for you to think about. Look at your own team. Is it built for activity, or is it built for growth? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.